Hello and welcome to Red Shoe Media with me, Tom Elgie, and today I am talking about a film that I've just I saw a couple of days ago and I've just got round to actually being able to do the review for. A film which I was actually quite excited going in for, though it's not a big film for the year, and that is the movie Midnight Special. I just touched my nipple there. In short, this movie is a load of very good premises and setting up good premises that it didn't have time to explore. You can tell this movie is very Steven Spielberg inspired when you watch it back. It has elements that really grip you. It had scenes where there's not much dialogue, but there's a lot of looks at each other, and it is very Spielberg-esque, very Spielberg science fiction-esque. I'm going to be honest, the main reason I went to see it was because it's got a Star Wars star in it, Adam Driver, who plays obviously Kylo Ren in Star Wars, and he was brilliant in this. It was a very different role to Kylo Ren, which is great. He's doing all the right things to have some longevity in acting after Star Wars finishes and while Star Wars is going on, so he can go on like Harrison Ford and do some other things instead of just being stuck as that character. Visually, the film is flawless. Every shot is really well thought out. It looks great. There's moments where when it has to be really real, it's really real. There's moments where there's some CGI and it looks great. There's moments where there's just literally this like shots of people looking at each other, and again, the frame is very good. However, in the context of the story, not so much. That may be why it was very Steven Spielberg-esque, because all of Steven Spielberg films, even Indiana Jones and the Crystal Skull, very well blocked, very well framed, beautiful imagery, just not great material to do that with. Kirsten Dunst is in this film, which I completely forgot until I saw her in it. I just saw her in the trailer and I completely forgot about it. Doesn't look like Kirsten Dunst though. She looks a lot more like the lady whose name escapes me, who plays Emma Swan in Once Upon a Time. If you don't know who that is, Google that. She looks a lot like her now. Not that that's anything against her, of course, but she is absolutely brilliant in it. I feel like she was probably the best in it. Michael Shannon, however, was very boring. He had very boring moments. He's really good. He's really trying. He's bringing it in. He wasn't dialing it in. He was doing a very good job. It was a fantastic effort from him. But unfortunately, again, what was given to him didn't give him a chance to show off that much. And I must say, the moments where there was some deep and emotional moments, he played really well. His stuff he did with the kid, really good. The first 40 minutes of this film are very slow. There's a lot of building up. And it would have been fine if that build-up took us somewhere. If it went somewhere, the first 40 minutes of this film would have been good, but they weren't. They were incredibly boring because it didn't go anywhere that we wanted it to go. And then the next 40 minutes, you start to think it may be going in that direction, and this could be a really good film. This could be the next E.T. It has that potential. It's really good, and you start to think this is going in that direction. It's going to be really good, and something's going to happen and make this really outstanding. And it's full of opportunities to make that third act exactly what we need it to be. And it goes up and up and up, and it gets to this point where there should be something should happen now, and it doesn't. With a lot of movies, people say, reviewers say, I've said it myself, that the studios have too much input and they ruin it, as it's happened with a lot of films, Batman v Superman and the likes of that. This movie, I feel, would have benefited from more studio input. I feel like they could have thrown something at it. I think because it was it was considered to be a smaller film, they didn't feel the need to chuck loads of, expertise at it. And I may be wrong. There may be news articles out there that say the studio did do all the work, but I personally didn't see that in the film itself. So if they did, they were very hush-hush about it. A big question for me coming out of the movie theatre for me was, why was it called Midnight Special? There's no real indication as to why that is called that. Nothing really happens at midnight. Nothing's particularly special about it. I don't really know why they've called it that, and if anyone knows, I'd love to find out, but I'm pretty sure quite a few people left there thinking, well, why did they call it that for? I was hoping the name would be relevant. Again, not a big problem. I just feel like it'd have been nice to know why they called it that. But there's some really strange moments in it. It's like in the first 40 minutes that I was talking about, there's a bit when there's a lot of driving and they're driving along, and at one point they shoot this police guy. These guys who are trying to take this kid away shoot the police guy. Right at the start, just boom, off the bat. And it's just brushed off and they move on and you never hear about it again. But I did have moments where I really enjoyed it, and I have to say the middle act of the movie really had promise, and I got invested, and it just didn't pay off for me. I'm afraid that's just how I took it coming out of the theatre. I think Adam Driver was hilarious in it, and as I say, very different to things he has done before. Michael Shannon, very good. Kirsten Dunst, good to see her in a role, probably her best role in years, is in this film, which is great to see. I really like the music. The music at the start, especially, it's great. It's on and off light piano music, simple but really effective and very well suited for what was going on with the action. But all things considered, I've thought about it, and I'm going to give this film a 6. It hasn't got enough riding on it to be a problem, but I just feel like it needed more in it, and that's something that, from a personal level, I wanted more from the film, and I feel like there was a few other people in the cinema that got to that third act and I thought, well, what's actually happening here? And I am, to this day, a little bit confused about what's happening at the end, because, I mean, it's really strange. Like, I really don't know what actually I'm still unsure. I've got my theories, and I think I know what happened, but I'm still not 100% convinced that I know what happened there. So, have you seen it? Did you like it? Let us know. If you did like it, then great. If you didn't, fair enough, I'm kind of there with you. If you like this video, though, give us a like, click subscribe if you want to see more, and until next time, see you around.